All right, we're gonna sending data over to Twitch friends. Let me just put this in some of my Discord servers, and we'll get this show going. Welcome, welcome everybody. All right, welcome friends. Let me just put these in some of my Discord servers and we'll get this show going, friends. All right, give me a second, friends. We're just putting a couple things on Discord, putting the word out there really quick. Cool. Welcome, welcome, friends. Give me a second. But yeah, welcome, friends. We are jumping on. Give me a second, friends. Almost there. Well, a couple more servers. I think we're good. All right, friends. I think we're going to get this show going. Let me just get my stuff going. So welcome, welcome, everybody. So we're going to do this. We're doing something a little bit different for Alps today. So we're going to do a personal build. And we're doing something different today. So we are going to be working with a TGR board today. So one of my personal favorite TGR boards. I happen to have two TGRs in my collection. I got a TGR 910 and I have the TGR Tomo. And what we're going to be doing, I've been kind of sitting on this project for a while. And I've wanted to convert my TGR Tomo to Alps. I had it build it with some cool Harmony linear MX switches and then GMK Fuji. I mean, the GMK Fuji went perfect with the pink colorway of this particular board. But one thing about the TGR Tomo, as I'll kind of show y'all, is the TGR Tomo has a really interesting solder PCB. So the solder PCB of this particular board supports Alps. If you look at this, the hole points, the solder holes are really interesting. So when you see holes like this on a solder PCB, that means it supports both Cherry MX and Alps. So this has been a project in the works that I've been hoping to do for a while, and I had the plate made by Tom at Hype, say like a month and a half ago over the summer, and I just kind of been holding off on doing the project. I've had some other interesting boards I've wanted to do, and the Tomo was perfectly functional with the MX stuff. So, but we're gonna finally make the jump and convert this board over to Cherry MX, which is really cool. So I desoldered it the other night. I got it all cleaned up. So the PCB is good to go, which is really nice. So yeah, we're gonna kind of go over parts. So we have our solder PCB, we have our TGR Tomo, we have our awesome aluminum plate made by Tom over at Hype Keyboards. Tom is a friend of the channel, so I'm really excited to be able to utilize this particular plate. We're going to be using some Type Plus screw-in stabilizers today. So we're using Cherry MX stabilizers because we're going to be using a DCS set. So we're going to be using DCS 9009. One of the interesting things with this particular build is 75% have is a kind of a weird layout. So 65s and 75% when it comes to Alps are really, really weird. And the big issue is going to be your navigation column, and then and also where your arrows are located. That's going to be kind of your main issue, and why keycap compatibility is kind of a pain in the butt, and that's why no one really makes PCBs or really does 65 and 75% boards. To my knowledge, the TGR Tomo is the only 75% Alps board that you can easily convert. So I have the Alps plate, I have everything. Also for this build, we're going to be doing a switch that's really been growing on me. We've been doing a lot of builds with it lately. We're doing some Alps SKCM White clicky switches, so we're going to turn this into a clicky Alps build. So that's going to be really cool. These switches have are really, really nice. So these are one of the really cool Alps switches. They're one of the 3 Alps switches that Alps made from the factory. And these are the most affordable of the clickies. The other 2 clickies, of course, are Blue Alps, which everyone loves, and that's the switch everyone really wants when it comes to Alps. And you have Amber Alps. The problem with Blue and Amber is they're prohibitively expensive, and I do have personal builds that have Blue and Amber Alps. They're just absurdly expensive builds. So this one I wanted to just kind of make it a fun little build, and I have a metric crap load of those white Alps on hand. So I figured, hey, I'd just do something fun with this particular board in terms of switch selection. So that's what we're gonna do. So I want to pull out the daughter board. When I was kind of taking this board apart the other night, I didn't pull the daughter board out. So that's something I do want to do because we got to do all of our testing and whatnot as part of our Alps building process. So let me just pull the daughter board out, and then that's just going to make testing this a lot easier. So let's just pull that out. Let's get these screws out just so we can put the case to the side, so that makes the testing this a lot easier. And there we go. Awesome. Let me just put my little screws to the side. And of course, this is a unified daughter board, which is really nice. So that's always a pleasure. It makes life a lot easier. So let's put that to the side. All right, we're pretty much done with these. I'm going to take my spudger out because we're going to need that. But I want to kind of take a look at, I'm going to kind of throw some stuff to the side right now in terms of the case and everything. Just want to plug in the PCB really quick and just do a quick little test. We should be good. This is a pretty straightforward PCB. I do have 2 of these PCBs on hand. So we just want to plug this one, just do a quick little test in VIA really quick, and we'll get this show going. We're going to have to really start with the plate because we're going to have to make some modifications to our plate, and everything is good to go. Awesome. I just want to go to the P-tester really quick, just activate a couple of switches, and we are good. Awesome. All right, friends, we are good to go. Awesome. That is lovely. So we're going to do that. And one thing about the white Alps, I have used them in a build. I have them in one other personal build. It's my keyboard that I have onto the side today that we'll be using today. I'm just take my daughter board, put that to the side because we're not going to be using that for a while. So, and we're also not going to be using the PCB for a while. So we got to make some modifications to our plate, and I'll kind of explain how you get the types of plates I get from Careless and Tom over at Hype. So let me kind of show you the plate. So this plate is an aluminum plate. It came from Tom. Tom is a friend of the channel. He's basically a sponsor of the channel at this point, which is really cool. So whenever you see me working with plates, especially Alps plates, they're always going to be made by Tom, and they're always going to be designed by Careless. So this is one of the plates that Careless, one of the plate files I got from Careless. So let me kind of show y'all what makes this plate really interesting. We're going to have to do some modification to it, just to make sure everything will work for this particular plate. So, but this plate's really cool. So this is your TGR Tomo Alps PCB. Alps plate, which is really kind of cool. So this is really nice because it supports a 7U spacebar at the bottom. But what's really nice about this one, it has support for either Alps pattern stabilizers or DCS keycaps, which are really cool. So now the only thing, if you're going to use Alps pattern stabilizers, your only option really for keycaps for compatibility, especially for this navigation cluster, is going to be Taihao. That's really your only option. You can't, with this type of layout, like 75 and 65%, you cannot use original pattern keycaps. It's just the issue with compatibility and things like that's not going to work. So you're going to need Taihao, or you're going to go with DCS. Now, one thing to note about DCS, if you do get plates from Careless and you're going to go the DCS route, you have to make a permanent modification. So when you get these plates, this is called a variable Alps plate. So it'll either support Alps pattern stabilizers, but if you want to use DCS, you have to permanently modify the plate, and it will only use Cherry MX stabilizers going forward for DCS keycaps. So we're going to have to modify 3 of our stabilizer areas. So we're going to remove these little parts right here, and that's going to allow us to fit in the Cherry MX stabilizers for the DCS keycaps. DCS keycaps are cool because they support modern layouts, and they are hybrid. They use Alps stems for the switches, but they use Cherry MX stabilizers, which is really nice. So that just makes life a little bit easier. But for right now, we're going to focus on taking off these clips. So we have clips right here for our left shift. we have it for our enter, and then we have it for our backspace. So we're going to take those off right now. So let's get that going. And that's what those are the modifications. The spacebar, we don't have to make any modifications because we already have the holes for our Cherry MX stabilizers. And also, we're going to make the modification because we're going to go step caps lock as well on this particular board, because I'm a big fan of stepped caps lock wherever I can put it on the board. So let's pull these off. And then once we pull off these pieces of metal, we're going to have to file everything down. So that's just kind of the big thing. So this is where we kind of do our hand fitting first. So we'll throw that piece away, and then we'll get these portions done first. So let's get these. So this is going to be our hand fitting portion. So that's one thing with Alps, is everything is a little bit different. Every single build is slightly different. There we go. Got that one bent down a little bit so we can get grip with the bigger pliers, and then I want to get this one. There we go. Perfect. Let's do that one first. So this is a good time. So folks, I'm really looking forward to this build. This is one I've been looking forward to doing for a while. I've just been holding off on it. I've had all the parts and everything to do it. I just had to kind of shovel things around in terms of Alps builds, another board. So we have some exciting stuff coming up. I just want to let you all know, Wednesday, September 17th, I'm going to be doing my very first sponsored build stream, and I'm really, really excited for this first sponsored build stream. We're going to be building the ETAR 87. It was formerly known as the QFRL 100. And that board is designed by the Bloody Eyes. He's a really awesome keyboard designer within the community. And it's a F-rowless full-size keyboard. So, and what's really cool, it supports Cherry MX, Topre, and Alps. And you bet your butt we're going to build it with Alps. But for the promotional group buy, the group buy is going to be running from September 25th to October 15th, which is going to be really nice. So it's a nice window. So it gives enough people who are interested in the project and joining it. For those of you, there's a ton of different vendors around the world. For us here in the United States, in North America, Click is going to be our group buy vendor. And the board's going to be the kit's going to start at $355, which is fantastic for a full-size keyboard. That is awesome. That is an awesome price point. So I'm going to be getting one of the prototypes, and I'm going to get it in on Tuesday, and then we're going to be doing the actual build stream of the board on Wednesday, September 17th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm over here in Los Angeles, so we're going to be on California or Pacific Time. So that's going to be a really cool build, folks. I'm really excited for that board. I cannot wait to do my first sponsored stream. We're going to build it on stream with Cherry MX. I put on my Instagram, I'm trying to get ideas for what switches we want to put in. I have a metric truckload of switches we could try. And then also I put on we're going to put GMK, and I have a ton of GMK on hand. So I have a lot of the really kind of cool iconic sets. So I want to just kind of get people's opinion. Go on my Instagram story, and you can kind of check out what type of GMK sets and what type of switches do we want to build the board with. We're getting a silver unit. That's the particular colorway we're getting. So I want to think of maybe like what kind of sound profile I want to go for and things like that. Now, I am having the Alps plates custom made by Tom over at Hype Keyboards, which will be really cool. The plate was actually designed by Careless over at Carolingian, which is really nice. Careless is like the go-to guy when it comes to modern Alps. So I put Careless and the Bloody Eyes together, and Careless was able to take the Bloody Eyes Cherry MX plate profile and then convert that over to Alps, which is really nice. So major thank you to Careless for being a contributor on the project. If you decide to get an Alps plate, we'll have the Alps plate files available, and people can get those custom made, and it's going to be really cool. One thing that's going to be also really cool, I'm doing a special run of PCBs through the Bloody Eyes that'll support Macintosh keycaps. So it has to be its own separate thing, which is going to be really cool. So if you're interested in getting an ETAR 87 and you want to do it with Alps and specifically Macintosh keycaps, reach out to me, because we're doing a special run of PCBs for the group buy that are going to be separate from the main line PCBs that everyone else is going to be ordering. So I'm going to be purchasing my own kit anyway. So the proto I will return to the Bloody Eyes, but he's going to let me kind of keep the board for a little bit so I can do some promotional stuff and also build it with Alps and kind of showcase. Like, we're going to showcase on Wednesday what the board can do with Cherry MX and what it sounds like and what it feels like, and we'll build it a bunch of different ways on stream. just so people can get an idea and have them kind of have a nice idea of what they can expect from the board. And then what we're also going to be doing at probably later in the group buy window, once Tom gets the plates to me, is we're going to build it with Alps, which will be really nice. And that'll give people, Alps are more niche, but the small number of people who are interested in building an ETAR 87 with Alps, we're going to give them an idea of what you could do it with Alps. And I'm going to do it, and that build's going to be a really cool build when we get the plates in, and I have some really cool ideas on how we're going to build it, which is going to be awesome. So we got all the metal pieces removed. So now what we need to do is we need to take our file. Actually, I'm going to use one that's a little more coarse. And we're going to file everything down smooth so we can fully get our cherry mix stabilizers in, and also for our stepped caps lock. So this is the part of the build that is very hand fitted, which is pretty interesting. So we're just going to take our file, and we're just filing everything down. Just take our time. Doesn't have to be too aggressive. But once we get these all, this is just kind of the process when I do DCS. When I get my plates files designed by Careless, I usually like having the plates designed as variable. So if I want to do DCS, I can, or if I want to do OG pattern Alps stabilizers, I'm able to do so. So that just gives me the option. But Careless also has plate files that are just original pattern Alps stabilizers or just DCS stabilizers. So if you know your heart is set on doing one particular type, then you don't have to go through the hassle of like doing this filing and hand fitting of the board. Now, mind you, if you get I prefer my plates out of aluminum. But if you get a plate that's made out of like polymer or like FR4, removing these pins and filing them down is a lot easier than filing down the metal. So just enough FYI to that, folks. But I prefer aluminum plates. That's what I prefer in my keyboard builds. Like, I'm a big fan of metal plates, whether aluminum is my favorite plate material, followed by like brass and copper. I really like stiff typing experience, and I like the sound that does. But the cool thing about our hobby is the preference is everything, and everyone has different tastes. Everyone likes different feels and sound profiles. Like for me, I really love the sound and feel of aluminum plates. So pretty much whenever I'm ordering a board or I'm doing a custom build, I always try to do aluminum plates. That's just kind of my preferred style when I do my builds. But like I said, I just did it at Client Alps build where we had a palm plate, which was really cool. So the client really, really insisted on a palm plate. And I'm like, okay, sir, that's good to you. It's your money. It is your build. So we're going to build it how you want it. So there we go. We got our caps lock area good. Now we're going to start doing our stabilizer area. And then we're going to make this nice, really, really nice. So yeah, there we go. It's going to come together. This is the part that is, again, a little bit slow, but we are essentially hand fitting this plate to make sure that it works. So that's what we're doing. So we got a lot of filing to do on this one, but it's going to be fun. Like, I'm really excited for this board. Like, this is a board I've really wanted to do. And like I said, most people who do Alps builds are doing 60%, are doing TKLs, are doing the handful of full sizes that we can do, which I love. I love my TKLs, I love my 60s. But this is going to be a really cool build because it's also going to showcase a more modern keyboard layout that you can convert to Alps. So that's really cool. So those of you who are interested in Alps and you really like 75%, TGR Tomo is going to be your best option. The Tomo is a really cool board. I really love it. Like, I love TGR, and it's probably one of the more, most people know TGR for the Jane, and the Jane is awesome, and the Jane is a board I eventually want for my collection. It's just, even like a TGR, even the most accessible TGR Jane, like the Jane ME, is still a very expensive board. It's like $700. So that's just the thing with Janes. Like, they're very expensive, but like if you go to like the 910s or like the Tomos, like a Tomo you can have for like $200 if you go out. If you're patient and smart on Mech Market, you can get a Tomo for a very reasonable amount of money. I got mine new from Makaibo. I got a B stock unit for very affordable. And I was, as soon as I saw the price, I'm like, I just jumped on it. So it's a really cool little board. And I'm really happy that TGR made it a widely available board. So if people really wanted to try a TGR and see like, hey, what's the hype with all these boards, the Janes and the 910s and whatnot. So the Tomo is a really great option for people to get a TGR board and not have to deal with like paying like $3,000 like people pay for Janes, or some of the original run 910s are like over $1,000, which is crazy. So it's nice that like Tomos and like the 910 MEs are awesome, but even the Jane V2 MEs, like which is probably the most affordable Jane, like you can get those for like, I'd say between like $500 to $700 still. You can still get those around MSRP. They made a lot more of those. Part of the reason the Jane was just so expensive on the aftermarket is because it was such a limited run. So just filing everything down. Cool. A little more filing on that one. So it's a good time, everybody. So it's a nice Saturday. So hope everyone's having a great weekend. But yeah, it's gonna be really exciting stream on Wednesday. So it's gonna be really nice, and I'm really excited because for that particular group buy, like it's gonna be Lightning has already built the ETAR. I'm gonna be building it. Alex Odos will be building the ETAR 87. I think Captain Sterling. I can look at the group buy. I can look at the group buy post, but it's kind of nice. Like I was looking at the group buy page, and it was like, "What's up, Welvin?" So yeah, we're doing a TGR Tomo. I'm fixing the plate right now. We're doing some hand fitting right now. So what's up, Welvin? So yeah, we got a sponsored stream Wednesday, September 17th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's my first sponsored group buy stream, which is going to be really awesome. I'm so excited to be part of the promotion for the ETAR 87, a board I've been looking forward to for a really long time. Now one thing I do for just transparency for the ETAR 87, I'm like the Bloody Eyes is sending me his prototype, but I'm not keeping the prototype. I'll be able to keep the prototype for a good while to do like Alps builds and like really showcase some of the weirder crap you can do with it. But I'm still going to be purchasing a unit in the group buy with my own money. So that's just for transparency's sake. I will still be purchasing a board. So I'm still going to be paying the $355 plus shipping that everyone else is going to pay. So I'm not getting a board for free. But I'm gonna make that very clear when we do the sponsored stream. But one thing about that board, it's really cool. It supports Alps, it supports Cherry MX, and it supports Topre. I think the Topre kit's gonna come out later. I think later after the main run of the group buy. So because I think Topre is a little just like Alps is more obscure. But Topre is getting more and more popular, which I really love. I love seeing that Topre is getting more love in the community, especially with Dynacap coming out. We have Dynacap should be coming out within the next 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully. If Clever and his team don't have any issues in the final home stretch of everything. I really hope Dynacap is going to be really awesome. So we're just doing our final test fitting here, folks. Yeah, we got to file down a bunch of these, and then that one looks pretty good. Awesome. Yeah. I did not see the Unreal video on Dynacap. What happened? Can you give me an update on the T? What's the T? Again, I don't really follow a lot of that stuff. Oh, okay. Well, it's cool. Like I said, I got to talk with Clever at Cube Life, face to face for a really long time. So, I'm really excited for the project and what's going to happen. So, here's the thing. I look at it that this is kind of how I view Dynacap. I view Dynacap in the same way we see companies like Gateron or HMX or TTC. Think of all the other companies that produce Cherry MX switches. They're technically clones, and that's kind of how I see Dynacap. Dynacap is Cherry MX pattern, but it's not made by Cherry MX. Same way Dynacap is made by Omnitype and Clever. It's not made by Topre. So I see it as more like a clone, kind of like what Gateron does, or all the other Cherry MX switch manufacturers, or like what Matthias does for Alps switches. So it's not like a one-to-one. It's not going to be a one-to-one thing. If you want the OEM shit, if you want OEM stuff, get an HHKB, get a Real Force, or get a Leopold. I think Dynacap is I agree with the sentiment. Again, it's not OEM Topre, but it's close enough. Yeah, and I think that's what I'm still hyped for Dynacap, and I'm going to support the project because at the end of the day, Dynacap is doing something amazing. It's going to bring Topre to the mass market. I think similar to how what we've been seeing with Alps, a lot of people who are more novice or more, not as advanced or enthusiast level, don't get into Topre or Alps because it's a lot of work. Especially Topre, if you're gonna get an HHKB, I really recommend modding it. You want to lube your stabilizers, you want to tear it apart, and you want to lube your sliders. That's a lot of work, and some people may not be comfortable with that. So I think that's going to be really cool. And I also like that Clever is going to work on making drop-in kits for certain keyboards. Like, I know he's working on a drop-in kit for the Kohaku. Like, he's had, like, has shared on his Discord, and I got to talk with Clever about his conversations with Elaine. And Elaine is very particular on who she works with. I mean, Elaine's been screwed in the past by people she's collaborated with. So she's very selective. And the fact that he has someone like Elaine fully on board to convert her most popular board to Topre is awesome. Like, the Kohaku being Topre is going to be so sick. But also making like 60% boards, like TKLs, like having a 65% kit. Like, that's going to be so cool. So, like, I definitely agree with the sentiment. Yeah, it's not OEM Topre. I don't think Clever ever intended it to be that. And I don't think Clever ever tried to mislead people that it was going to be OEM Topre. Like, Dynacap, he had to basically redesign the whole Topre design for their main mission, which was, we want Topre to be properly compatible with all Cherry MX keycaps, specifically GMK, which was the big stickler. And again, I know some people got crap on GMK, but GMK is one of the most popular keycap brands. But if you can have compatibility GMK, you're going to work with Keykobo, you're going to work with PBT fans, you're going to work with every other manufacturer. So that's going to be really cool. And that was the main goal of Dynacap, is make Topre accessible and allow people to use things. So Nico, I agree with you, but it's giving people that option. And I think that's the big thing about Dynacap, is giving people choices. Because the other thing too, like, OEM Topre keycaps, like, for the most part, are very limited. I know we had the FK keycaps, but like, those are super limited. I think but if we can allow people to have full, DCS as well too. Like, if we can have full Cherry MX keycap compatibility, people love customizing their boards and people want to get into Topre. So I think people can overlook the subpar sound profile for fully customizing the board the way they want to. And I think that's going to be really cool. And I like, too, that Clever's also going to sell the original... they're also going to sell the original parts. The individual parts, not just kits. So if people just want sliders, or they just want housings, or the domes, or the springs, Clever's also going to sell those. Like, I plan on buying... At launch day, I want to get two... I personally want to pick up 2 HHKB kits, because I have 2 Han cases. I have a Han H2H, I have on hand, and then I purchased the Han Pro 2K on Group I. And eventually I would love to pick up a Norbauer board. I actually got to talk with Ryan, who owns Norbauer, for a really long time over at Key Life, which is really cool. So it was actually kind of nice talking with Ryan at length, and really kind of hearing, like, finally getting to meet him in person, and actually kind of meeting the man, and actually just kind of being able to put a face to the name. It was like, Ryan was a really cool dude in person. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, like, I would go Dynacap, because then you can, like, you can really have choices on what keycaps you want to customize it with. So that's the thing I'm going with. Like, for me, like, I want to put, I have a couple GMK sets in mind for my Dynacap kits I want to put on my Han boards. So I have definitely some cool ideas on what we're gonna do. But I think that's gonna be really cool. So, like, DCS is cool. Yeah, DCS is cool. I mean, we're building with DCS Alps today. We're using DCS Alps 9009 for today's build. So we're definitely, and I'll kind of go into more explanation as to why I have to use DCS today. I really kind of prefer OG keycaps at this point, but yeah. So I got to file everything down on this plate. So it's a slow process filing all this stuff down. And we're good there. Okay, that half is done. Cool. We're getting there, friends. We are getting there. So yeah, but Niku, it's a good time, my man. So, like, I think just Dynacap overall is going to be a good time, and I think a really good option for people. And I really believe what Clever and the team at OmniNet Type are doing. And it's another thing that's good too about Dynacap. They're targeting a very affordable price point. I mean, it's all injection molded plastic plus the rubber of the domes and, like, the metal of the springs, but most of the work is the injection molding, sliders, and housing. So that's what's cool. Also, so Dell AT101 keycaps I really love, and I love Zenith keycaps as well. But this one I'll explain why I have to use DCS. I love OG keycaps, but, like, for weird layouts like 75% and 65%, you have to use DCS. That's the only way, because that navigation column on the side, with OG keycap sets, there's no good compatibility if you want your profiles to match up and you want your keys to be properly labeled, and I'm very anal about that. So you're really your only option, like the Tomo, like in terms of Alps conversions, the only board you can convert to Alps easily is going to be a TGR Tomo. The solder PCB supports Cherry MX and Alps, and then for 65%, I only know of 2 boards. I know it's the Lunar A03 Lunar, and then the Keycult number 265. And the weird thing with the Keycult number 265 is you have to find a Knighting P65% Alps PCB, which haven't been not made for a very long time. I happen to have 2 of them on hand. I'm doing a couple client builds for Keycult, 2 Keycult number 265s for a guy in Ireland, but the PCBs aren't mine. And he reached out to me saying he wanted to build in that board, and I said, do you have the PCBs? And he said, I actually have 2 of them. I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool, yeah, we can do that. But yeah, like, so like, and the reason why no one really, like, people like Careless or Apple T really just stick to like 60% in TKL is keycap compatibility. So I can tell you, so Knighting is the user who made the 65% PCB, the Alps PCB for the Keycult. I mean, if someone wanted to make a 65, like a universal pattern, like H65 PCB, I mean, yeah, I'll be completely honest. I can't disclose the username of the client unless they were on here. I just do that for their privacy. That's just something for me, my man. So I can't explicitly tell you who it is. All I can say is they're located in Ireland. That's all I can say. I'm not giving out their username. So, yeah. So it's just for their privacy. Like, that's just something with clients. I'm never going to say their username, but I always ask, like, when I do client builds, I always ask the client, are you okay if I build it on stream, or are you okay if I post it on my social media pages? And most of them, everyone has said yes, I've done client builds for, but if someone explicitly says no, I will respect their wishes. It's their money, it's their build, so I just want to be respectful for that. But even if they allow me to, like, build it on stream and things like that, I never reveal who it is. That's just my courtesy to them. But I'll like tell, like, maybe where they are in the world. Like, that's always cool. Like, I've had people in Europe and other parts of the world like reach out for client builds, which is really nice. Like, I have a guy in Russia who's interested. I've had a few people in the United Kingdom reach out, which is really cool. So, like, it's really nice getting some of the more the attention from abroad, and that's why I'm really excited to do this sponsored build stream on Wednesday. So Wednesday, I mean, please, if you can spread the word, my man, we're doing a sponsored build stream for the Bloody Eyes ETAR 87, which is an FRL full-size keyboard kit. That's going to be $355. It's going to be run through ClickClack for our North American people, and a bunch of other international vendors are going to run it as well. But it's cool. It supports Cherry MX, Topere, and Alps. So on the build stream, I'm going to be building it with Cherry MX, and I'm going to be able to keep the board for a little bit because I'm having Alps plates made by Tom over at Hype Keyboard. So when he gets those made and shipped out to me, we'll then rebuild the board in Alps, and that's going to be really cool. And we're actually doing, so the board's going to be an AT101 layout, so it'll have win key and win keyless. But we're going to do a special run. I talked to the Bloody Eyes, and I requested to do a special run of PCBs that support the bottom row on Apple keyboards. So, because I've been wanting to do a modern full-size using these Macintosh keycaps. The problem is the F row is a pain in the ass. You can't use the F row. But the other problem is the bottom row on these Apple keyboards is not AT101. It's a proprietary layout with a 6.5U spacebar. So the Bloody Eye said he could do it, but he has to do a custom run of PCBs for the board. So I'm going to be purchasing that plus 5 extra Apple PCBs. So it's going to be, my ETAR 87 order is going to be pretty expensive. But it's going to be really cool because I'm going to do one, and then I'm going to have 3 extra pieces. I'm going to keep 2 of the PCBs, one for me to build, one to have a spare, and then I'll have 3 extra PCBs if someone wants to do an Alps Macintosh build. Now, the thing is, if you're interested in doing if you're interested in the ETAR 87 and you'd want to build it with Macintosh keycaps, make sure you purchase a Windows key model. If you get a Win keyless model, your board is not going to be compatible with the Macintosh keycaps, unfortunately. So that's just the interesting thing. So you're just kind of locked in. But it's going to be a really cool project, and I'm really excited to promote it. I'm the first one building it on stream for the group buy. I'm building it before Alex Odos. Like, Alex Odos is going to be building it. I'm really kind of excited. I'm on, like, the same list as, like, Alex Odos and, like, some of the bigger creators in the space. Like here, let me grab my phone. I can tell you who's like when are like the promotional streams for it. So like really, I'm really excited because like Black Simon, yeah, I was on Black Simon's review, which is really cool. He was looking at, he was doing it on his group buy review, and I was on screen, which is like really sick. So, but let me kind of see who's building it. But I know Black Simon's gonna possibly get one. But yeah, ClickLack's gonna be the U.S. international. So like United Kingdom will be J. The European Union will be Key Gem. Desk Hero's doing it for Canada, which is really cool. So, I'm building it before everybody. So I'm building it on September 17th. Jay at Prototypist is building it September 21st on his stream. Alex Odos is doing it on September 26th, and then Sing Sing Wong is doing it on September 26th. Lightning's already did it first. He did it a couple weeks ago, but I'm really excited. Like I get to do it before like Jay, Alex Odos, and Xin Wong. So that's really cool. So Lightning mailed me the board for review from him direct in New York. So I'm getting it. So it should get to me on Tuesday. And then I'll get Tuesday. I'll prep the board and get all my equipment ready. And then Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll do the build stream. And then again, probably later in the group buy, we'll do like actual like the Alps builds. And then probably after the group buy ends, I'll do some more Alps builds with the board because the Bloody Eye said I can keep the proto for a little bit. So I can do the Alps builds and do some more crazy stuff with it to showcase all the weird crap you can do with the board. So that's going to be really cool. So I'm really excited to showcase the board using Alps. So yeah, sorry, this plate's taking forever, everybody. This is going to be a little bit of a longer stream because we got to like pretty much custom hand fit this plate. So, okay, that plate is good. And then we got two more. We got two more stabilizers we got to do. So it's a process doing these stabilizers because we got to file stuff down. So, but yeah, it's going to be a fun build, everybody. But yeah, Wednesday, September 17th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in Los Angeles. We're going to be on stream, and please spread the word, folks. If you want to put it on Discord or Reddit or your social media. I mean, and then if this is a board you're interested, definitely tune in. I'm really excited for this board. As soon as I found out about the board, I knew, and I found out it was Alps compatible. I knew it was a board I had to have and join. And I talked to the Bloody Eyes, and again, I'm part of the reason why the board has a Alps plate file. So when I reached out to the Bloody Eyes and I asked him about its Alps compatibility, he said, yeah, it's Alps compatible, but he said, like, he did not have an Alps plate file. He didn't have enough knowledge. Like, he wasn't familiar enough to design an Alps plate file. So I said, like, hey, I know the guy who's the guru for modern Alps plates. So I reached out to Carolus and I asked Carolus, like, hey, Carolus, like, would you be open to, like, designing and converting the MX plate to Alps for the ETAR 87? And I sent him more information about it. And Carolus said, yeah, man, absolutely. So I got the MX plate files from the Bloody Eyes, and then I sent that to Carolus, and then Carolus converted those plate files over to Alps. So we're gonna have two Alps plate files available. So we'll have one that supports standard AT101 layout, 7U spacebar, all that crap. And then we'll have a Alps plate that'll support the Apple Macintosh bottom row, which will be really cool. So that's going to be super, super sick. So we're really, really excited for that build, and I cannot wait to see it. So, yeah, unfortunately, I probably won't be able to build a Macintosh build with the ETAR 87 prototype because we won't have the PCBs until everything gets delivered. So, because we're doing the special order of the PCBs during the group buy. So, yeah. So again, if you are interested in ETAR 87, you want Macintosh keycaps, please reach out to me and we'll get one of those PCBs reserved for you. Because it's going to be a special order. Because the base 355 price will include either a Windows key or a Win keyless case. It'll include a plate of your choice, and I think aluminum, PC, and FR4, and then it'll of course include the case. Oh my god, I have a bot in my chat, everybody. It says like, ooh, you can get free viewers. I'm like, no, folks. I will be completely honest and transparent how I want to do this on the social media stuff. I want to grow my audience organically, and I want people to be here because they want to be here. Like if you're watching even if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, I want you to be here because you want to be here, not because I cheated and paid for viewers or views or subscribers. Like, also, I'm not doing this to get big. I'm doing this because it's fun. So at the end of the day, this is fun for me. Like at the end of the day, so I love doing this. So yeah, we got a few more points we got to file down. So that's like the fun time. So, but yeah, we're building the Tomo, everybody. Like one of my personal favorite boards. I do love me some 75% boards. It's a fun layout, and it's really cool. So I have 3 75s. I got a Jelly Evolve, and then I have a Keycaps Tech the base, and then I have my Tomo. Those are kind of my 3 75s, and I don't have any desire to get any more 75s. Like those are kind of like peak 75s for me. I know there's like things like the Gawk 7V or like a Matrix Mr. Taxi, but I'm good with the 375s I have. Like that really does it. I mean, I feel like the Jelly Evolved, like what the Kohaku is for 65s. Like it's top dog. I have the top dog 75%, so I'm chilling. And the Tomo can be Alps, so like what more could I want? All right, just making sure all that's good. Okay, give me a second. I just want to. Cool. All right, we're getting there, everybody. We are getting there. So. Slow and steady, folks. Slow and steady. And then we can start lubing stabs. Alright, we're getting there. Cool. So, yeah, folks, this is a good time. So, let's put the tools over to the side, and we're going to get this one going. So. Yeah, so looking good, friends. Looking good. So we're getting this one going. All right. That one's looking good. Almost there. All right. Almost there. We got one more we got to do. Awesome. And then we're going to be ready to start doing stabs, everybody. So that's pretty good. So, yeah, but it'll be good, friends. But yeah, definitely check out our big sponsored stream on Wednesday, everybody. So I'm really excited to get that one going. That one's one more file point, and then we're done filing. All right, cool. All right, so we have our plate filed up. As you can see, everybody, we were just filing. Now we can properly support DCS keycaps and our step caps lock. So that's really cool. So I'm going to put my files away because we're done filing stuff down. So that's cool. So awesome, everybody. So, all right, let's put our screws over to the side and let's get our PCB out. Actually, let's get our stabilizers made up and then we'll go from there. Okay, let's see. Let me get where'd my little thing go? There we go. Cool. I mean, hey man, the VOD will be on YouTube, so you can just check it out on YouTube after the fact. So let me get my Type Pluses out. Let's get my wires. We're using 4 of our wires here. Yeah, but I mean, definitely check out the VOD. But I mean, it's a really exciting project. I'm really excited for us to like really check it out. So we got our 4 stabs right there. Let's get these out. But yeah, it should be a fun time. I'm really excited. I cannot wait for the stream on Wednesday. Like, I genuinely freaking excited for that one. Because it's just, I'm so excited for the opportunity. I mean, I've been in the hobby for almost 2 years, but like I only really started caring about like streaming and like properly posting stuff online a couple months ago. So, I mean, it's been fun. I mean, everyone starts somewhere. I mean, like I said, like I'm never going to claim to be a professional like Teja or like Frank or whatnot, but like I'm just a guy who's just here to have fun and just here to spread some knowledge and have fun with people and just show people like projects that are worth supporting and showing people like the really cool sides of the hobby. Like that's really what I'm about at the end of the day. Like if I want to just get people to really dive deep into this hobby and find the love and find the really cool projects. Like there's so many great projects going on. Like I'm personally slowing down like group buys that I'm supporting because I've acquired so many cool stuff and it really takes a lot now for a board to like really wow me as like, oh, that's a must have. Like I am doing I'm doing the ETAR 87. I'm going to do the Baron PP1. That's a board I'm going to be promoting on stream and purchasing for myself. We're going to do the Keycaps Tech Secret, which is a really cool 65%. I'm going to do the DN Works Senna. And then the MM Studio Class 100. But other than those, like I'm pretty much slowing down on group buys. And most of those are happening in this fall. So like I'm not in a like pretty much after those I'm gonna be pretty much slowing down, focusing on other like I'm still gonna be active in the hobby and still doing builds and whatnot, but it's gonna be more like client commissions or like if a company like sends if a company like sends something in. Yeah. So I mean, dude, Welvin, I mean the group buy is open and the price point is really reasonable. Like for example, like 3 of my full sizes are absurdly expensive. Like my Matrix Labs 100 NG, my DNWorks 925, and my Linworks Dolphin Max, those are $600+ boards. Like they're very expensive. So the fact that this board is targeting a price point under $400 is amazing. Like that is just win-win, like no brainer, in terms of like supporting the project. So that's awesome. So I think in terms of that, that's really, really cool. So I think for the price point, you can't go wrong with that price point. Because I know for like full sizes, like custom full sizes are expensive. I mean, I know you have like one really another awesome custom full size that ran. I'm going to be getting it Monday actually, is the Vertex S100. I'll probably build that later in the week on stream. Because that's one of my personal builds. I want to really focus on getting ready for the ETAR because that's a big time stream for me. But like that's a really cool project. I'm so excited for. Like and it was $220 to get that full size, and like that's amazing. Like what the heck? I still don't know how Vertex made money on that project. I don't think they did. I think they broke even or they lost money on it, which is just kind of crazy to me. Because that was a great board. Yeah, I mean for $355 it's even cheaper than the Seal. The Seal was $400. And the Seal is another board I have. I think it's in the United States at ClickClack. They're I think they're getting them like Monday or Tuesday, and they're gonna ship them out by Friday. So like I have both Vertex full sizes coming. So I'll have 5 full sizes in my personal collection on hand very soon. So like that's really cool. But like I think it's gonna be even cooler like to get like an FRL full size because some people don't need the FRO. So which is going to be really cool. So we're going to get all of our lube out. We're going to use dielectric grease for these puppies today. That's kind of my preferred lube for MX stabilizers. So, but yeah, so that's just kind of crazy and interesting. So like, I don't know, man, like it's a cool project and I'm really excited for it. Like it should be a fun project. And I'm really hoping, yeah, dude, the 925 was steep, but also like full sizes are expensive. Like that's just the nature. There's a reason there aren't that many custom full sizes. Yes, there is a demand for them, but like they're so expensive. Like at Key Life, I was talking with Cannon Keys, and Cannon Keys had a prototype of a full size board that they're working on, but they said it's gonna be like north of $600. And that's just what it is. They're just expensive. They're really large. There's a lot of manufacturing that goes into them. So like I get it. Like I get why they're expensive. But like that's why like the Vertex S100 is such a great option, or like the QWERTY Keys QK101 is like another really awesome full size for like $200. which is awesome. So like that's what I just tell people, like there are options. Like the QK101, really, really awesome, really fun board that's like kind of takes design cues from like Matrix Labs and whatnot, which I really think is awesome. So, but yeah, that's what I think is just what people should do. In terms of that project, is just kind of go through it. But I think, yeah, but like the ETAR 87, really cool board, and the Bloody Eyes is working on other full sizes. So this is his board. His main board. It's going to go to group buy. That's ready right now. But if you go on his Discord channel, you can see the other projects that are kind of in like the R&D and like prototyping phase. So he's working on a couple other full sizes that are really cool, and that will also support Alps. So like I would definitely consider, depending on how I really like the ETAR when I get it in. That may impact me getting some of his other boards in the future, which would be really cool. So, another thing to tell you with the ETAR, like, Bloody Eyes is a friend of mine, but I'm going to be transparent on any criticism I have of the board. Like, if there are things that maybe we could potentially make better, or just any quirks with the board, I'm definitely going to point those out, and just be honest and truthful. Because at the end of the day, if there's any criticism I give, I want it to be constructive. I want it to be fair. Because those things could be maybe adjusted in production, so our final run boards will be perfect for everybody. So I'm definitely going to be just truthful and honest, but I do want to just let that be out there. Like, just because I'm having a board sent to me, that doesn't mean it's going to affect my opinion. I'm going to say, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, if it is, awesome, but like at this end of the day too, like I also do want to give a fair assessment, and if there is criticism to be given, I'm going to give it. That's just how I'm going to roll with that particular board. Because again, like, it's a project I genuinely believe in. I know I have a very good feeling the board is going to be fantastic. But I also don't want to, like, say there is a problem with the board, like, which I don't think there will be, but I wouldn't tell people to go buy something that I know that would be faulty. That's not cool. So that's just my 2 cents, everybody. So, all right, let's get this wire lubed up. There we go. Cool. Get some lube in here, and then let's get this wire going. So, yeah. Yeah, dude, again, like I said, I'm not here to, like, give people bad information, but also, too, I'm also not going to be a jerk on stream. Like, there are certain people within the keyboard hobby, I don't want to name them, but when they give feedback, they're pretty harsh, and they can be pretty aggressive, and I'm not about that. Like, at the end of the day, like, none of these designers, like, sometimes there's honest, genuine feedback and criticism with boards, but you can give that feedback and criticism constructively in a way that can help help the designer and help the final run production version of the board be the best that it can be. So you definitely just want to be, I just want to be fair in my assessment of the board. And again, I will be very transparent. Like, I receive the board for review and to build it on stream, that I'm going to be able to hold on to it for a little bit to do some other kind of crazy content with the board. But I'm going to be very transparent. Like, hey, like, I'm going to hold on to it for a little bit, but I'm not keeping it. Like, because it's also his prototype. Because I'm also, like, I'll also say on the stream too, like, I am purchasing one of these with my own money. And I'm also purchasing a bunch of extra PCBs with my own money. So, like, my ETAR, like, bill is going to be pretty expensive because I'm buying, like, 7 PCBs, 5 of which are a part of a custom run. So yeah, I'll be spending a good amount of money during the group buy. But yeah, so I just tell people it's a cool board, but like, again, if you're interested in like putting Macintosh keycaps on a F-Realist full size, definitely reach out to me and we can get you on the list for like this run of small PCBs for Apple keycaps, which will be really cool. So there we go. We're getting some stuff in there. Perfect, friends. All right, we're just getting these stabilizers lubed up, everybody. Once those are lubed up, we can start putting in switches. So we don't have to put keycaps on because we're not using Alps pattern stabilizers, which makes life a little bit easier. So that's the one nice thing about MX stabilizers. I think they're a little bit easier to work with. But that's just me. But I do love my OG Alps stuff, which is really, really sick. So we're just getting these lubed up, everybody. Gonna get this board looking awesome. All right, got that one. Let's do this one. So cool. Yeah, but those of you who are tuning in, thank you, friends. It's gonna be a fun stream. But again, everyone on Wednesday, September 17th, we're doing our first sponsored build stream for the ETAR 87, friends. So Again, definitely spread the word. It's an F rollers full size. It's going to be $355, which is a fantastic price point considering how expensive some of the full sizes that have come to market have been. So that's a really great price point. It's less than the Vertex Seal. It's way less than like the 925 or like the 100 NG or some of the other, like the Dinworks Dolphin Max, which all three of those I have, and I paid a lot of money for them. But hey, it's going to be pretty sweet, everybody. So I'm really excited for this board. The fact that they're, because I'll tell you, the interesting thing about the ETAR, it was supposed to be like 400, 450. And when we saw it in the final negotiations with Click-Clack and getting the group buy ready, they were able to bring the price down to $355. I'm like, hell yeah, boy. If we can save some money, I'm all about that. So that's pretty sweet. Cool. All right, let's put them in there. Let's get these stabilizers in here. Awesome. All right, there we go. We got this one, folks. Let's pull these ones out. We got 2 more stabs we got to do. Again, we're going Type Plus stabilizers today for this one. Got our plate looking nice. Let's get these out. Cool. All right. So looking fun, everybody. So this is a really cool build. But yeah, and also Weldon, if you're still on here, we're putting the same switches we put in your build in my Tomo. It's gonna be sick because I also have those white clicky switches in my Hex 3C. So those white clicky Alps definitely growing on me. And I did a Alps restoration for an Apple extended keyboard that I delivered to a local content creator here that had white clicky Alps, which was super sick. So he was really happy to get that board. So, yeah. Oh yeah, dude, there's going to be a good amount of people participating in the group buy. I think there's a lot of demand for an F-Rollless full size. I'll be completely honest, like, most of the bigger boards that you see are 1800s, and I'll be completely honest, I don't like 1800s. The idea is, oh, you're saving space on your desk. You're saving, like, what, half an inch? So, like, I don't think, like, I just don't like 1800 boards, 96% boards. Like, if you're going to go that big and have a numpad, just make it a freaking full size. Like, at the end of the day, man, like, that's just my 2 cents on it. Like, just make it a full size. So, like, I think the F-Rollless is a nice compromise for people who, like, maybe can lose some verticality on the forehead of the board, which will be really nice. And not everyone uses the F-Row. So, like, again, I'm mainly doing it because there's a very specific I'm a very specific use case why I want this board for Alps, which is very obscure, and then Apple Macintosh keycaps. So, like, my reasoning for getting the board is very, very specific, which I'm probably the only person joining the group buy who has this very, very specific need that this board is meeting. So that's like the really kind of cool thing. I'm really excited for it. So it's gonna be a really sick build, and like I'm really excited to get it on group buy because basically the Bloody Eyes told me I can hold on to the prototype basically until I get my group buy unit. Because one thing about the group buy, it's gonna be from September 25th to October 15th. And then they're expecting delivery and fulfillment in Q2 of 2026. So that could be between April and April to July of next year. So he basically said, like, I'm welcome to hold on to the prototype until I get my unit that I paid for. So I'm like, so I'll have that board for a good long while. So I'm definitely going to do some crazy crap with it, especially with Alps. We're going to do some really funny, some insane things with it. Some Alps builds. Like the Alps build that we're going to do initially for it's going to be absolutely insane. So I got some really Carolus is helping me out on sourcing some parts I need for the Alps build we're going to do on stream to promote the board, and it's going to be insane. It's going to be absolutely insane. It'll probably be the most expensive ETAR builds that anyone does, so it'll be pretty crazy. So, all right, that's a little too much. Oh my god, I don't need that much. There we go, that's fine. So it's going to be fun, everybody. Yeah, so we're definitely going to have some fun with Cherry MX building this board, and also I might do a Topre build with it too. Yeah. Well, I guess like OG retro 1800s are kind of okay, but I don't know, man. I like just the look and the aesthetic and just make the board as big as freaking possible. Like, I love that crap. Like, I want a battleship eventually, like a battleship keyboard, like the IBM Model F 123 or whatever the heck it is. It has like the double F row at the top. Like, that's sick to me. Like, I wanted to get the 21XX, but it was so freaking expensive, even for me. Like, I'm into like boutique high-end boards, but the 21XX, I couldn't swing it when the group buy just hit at the wrong time of year for me. So I didn't join that group buy, unfortunately. But the 21XX is like another like sick, like old school, giant battleship board is just awesome, and I love it. So, yeah, so we're just pulling out these ones. But yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff coming up in the market. So like I'm slowing down with group buys. I kind of went effing crazy this year on group buys, so I'm definitely starting to slow down because I have a bunch of cool stuff. Like honestly, like I've had some people tell me, like, not to brag, but like my personal, like, and I show people like what I have. Some people say like any one of your boards from your collection would be an end game for your average person. I'm like, yeah, I like expensive shit, I guess. So, but yeah, it's just kind of cool. So like I love it. I mean, I have like Kohakus, I have TGR stuff, like I have all kinds of crazy shit in the collection. So it's a fun time. Like it's definitely a fun time using these. But like honestly, when I go to the meets now, I'm just taking Alps. Like I don't take my Kohaku or like my TGR stuff. I mean, I'll take the Tomo now because it has Alps. But like I really like just like showcasing Alps at this point. Like Keep Life, I was the Alps guy. Like it was super sick. Like just being the guy who had a whole table with like 15 Alps builds was super sick. So I was like really happy just to share the love of Alps and tell people, like, so many people came up to my table and said, why Alps? And I'm like, well, first off, like, here's the story. And Alps are awesome. And I told them, like, try the boards and you'll see, like, they're really cool. It's a really cool switch design. It's just kind of its own thing. Especially they're tactiles and clickies. And we are doing a clicky today for this board. So it's going to make it super sick. So we're on our last stabilizer and then we'll screw these little puppies in. But yeah, folks, thank you for tuning in, friends. It's a fun time. But yeah, that stream on Wednesday, I'm super hyped, super excited for it. It's going to be fantastic. And we got that one lubed up. Let's get this last slider, and then we'll lube this last wire, and then we'll get this screwed in, and then we'll do the fun part, putting switches on. All right, cool. Let's put this one in. All right. Cool. Let's get this wire in here. Cool. All right. There we go, friends. Yeah, so it should be a fun time, everybody. Cool. All right, those are lubed up. All right, let's put my dielectric grease away. Let's wipe my hands off. Give me a tube of lube over here. Sweet. All right. Not entirely done lubing. I just gotta now grab my screws and my washers, and then we'll get going. So I don't need my spacers or anything like that. I just need these. Cool. All right, let's get this one going. Let's get these little washers and screws out, all that crap. Cool. All right, let's get my screwdriver and let's screw these puppies in. Good times, everybody. Let's get my PCB out. We're ready for the PCB. All right, let's mount our stabs in here. All right, going over here. Now we're just putting them in. Ooh, those look good. We got a 1.6. Then we got our 7U. Let me just put down my plate here and just make sure everything lines up. Yep, we good. We good. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. Let's get our screws in there, and then let's get these screwed down. Cool. All right, so we're just adding our Type Plus stabilizers. We're going to tune them, and then we'll start soldering in switches, and then begin the process of soldering the switches and testing all of them. These white clicky Alps, I usually don't have many failures on the switch plates, so this should be a relatively painless soldering procedure. We may have a couple, but not like the high failure like green Alps, which are kind of the bane of my existence at this point. Okay, let's do my space bar. Perfect. All right. So the ETAR, I don't know. I'm debating between something, because I'm debating either the brown or the green colorway, or hell, even purple, because purple just might just be different. Because I'm gonna put beige keycaps on it, because the Apple keycaps are gray/beige. So I think for the ETAR, like I think it'll be really interesting colorways. There's gonna be red, brown, green, blue, and purple. So there's a wide variety of colors. And again, you're going to have WinKey and WinKeyless. I'm going WinKey because that's what I need to have the compatibility with the Macintosh keycaps. Which will be really cool. But I'm really excited for it. Like I said, like it is a board I'm genuinely excited for. And to be able to like actually review it, I'm just so hyped. And I'm going to be the first one reviewing it and leading up to the group buy, basically, which is going to be sick. So I'm really excited. So yeah, it'll be really cool. I'm really excited to see what they to get it. Also see like the actual like product page on ClickClack. It's going to be awesome. Let me just, there we go. It's getting that one more screwed in, and then we'll put the rest of these washers and screws away. And then we'll just tighten up these stabilizers really quick. Then we'll be good. Almost there. All right, yeah, we'll tune up these stabilizers, make sure they're good, there's no wobbliness or any weird stuff, and then we'll get this board going. It's gonna be super sick. Cool. All right, there we go. Let me get my stabilizer stuff and put those away. Cool. All right, let's put this away. And then we're pretty much done with that portion of stabilizers. Yeah, there's no class. I mean, it's funny. The model that I'm getting is silver. Like, so I'm gonna be the colorway I'm getting is silver, which is gonna be super sick. Yeah, but I don't think silver or black are part of the colorways, unfortunately. So I just want to do a little bit of lube inside here. Putting a little bit of lube in here. I'm going to rub it around the wire housing. This is going to help with rattle and all that crap. Alright, so let's wipe that in. Alright. Cool. Just getting that lube really kind of in there in that housing around that wire. Cool. Cool. One more. Cool. All right, I think we're good with that. Cool. All right, so I think we're good. So I want to put my plate down. Cool. All right, so let's get my soldering iron fired up. Cool. That's warming. While that's warming up, we're gonna get some switches out, and we're just gonna do some corners in our stabilized keycaps first. But yeah, we're doing Alps in this thing. It's gonna be great. This is kind of psychotic, and I love it. And I'll do these corners up here just to hold everything in place. There we go, give me a second. Cool. And then this one in the corner. Cool. They're just kind of holding everything in. Now it'll allow us to kind of test everything. So there we go, friends. All right. All right, let's get our vent going. All right, let's get the show going. All right. Cool. Got one corner. Let's do this corner right here. Do this one up here. Coming along, friends. We're starting to do our soldering process. corners down to this stabilized keycap. Coming along. All right. Coming along, friends. Cool. That one's good. It's got a couple. Well, I got the space bar. I'll do in a second. Cool. That one's good. Cool. And then we're just doing our space bar here. Looking good. Cool. All right, let's put that to the side. I think that's all the switches we want to solder for right now. Awesome. So our plate is pretty much held in place for right now, which is great. So there we go. Look at that. We got some white at Clicky Alps here. Look at that. Oh, dude, this is gonna sound so good. Freaking love it. Cannot wait. All right, let's get this. Let's get the daughter board plugged in, and then we'll test everything. Let's get my daughter board going. There we go. All right, now let's get my USB. There we go. All right, cool. Let's do some testing over here. Let me get my VIA open. All right. Actually, let's just see if everything's programmed correctly. Yeah, we're all programmed. Perfect. All right, well, let's just move her over here. Cool. All right. Delete's good. Home. Arrow's good. Backspace. Enter's awesome. Space. Control. Shift. Escape. Perfect. We're good. All right, let me move my daughter board. Cool. All right, I want to test my stabilized keycaps. So let's dump out our keycaps right now. My DCS 9009. And I just want to test my stabs. Okay, that's good. All right, since we are gonna, this is a pink colorway, we're gonna put some pink keycaps on here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're going pink because we're gonna match that pink. It's gonna be sick. So, all right, let me just put my other stabilized keycaps here. Backspace, my BS. Looking good. Get that step caps lock on there in a second. Look at her. Awesome. There we go, friends. So let's put some more perimeter keycaps on, and then we'll get going. So I'm not going to put any other keycaps on for right now. So let's put the rest of them back in here. And let's put more of these puppies in here. All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right, let's put my keycaps to the side. Let's put some more switches in here. Let's kind of fill out some of the perimeter. Step caps lock. Let's fill out our bottom row. Let's do our shift right here. Looking good. Looking good. I want to see if I can. Cool. All right. There we go. Looking good, everybody. So do that bottom alpha right there. Cool. All right, let's move my mouse out of the way. Let's get our vent going. Hello, friends. Those of you who are tuning in. And get some of these other switches soldered in, and we'll get going. All right, let's get going. Cool. Looking good, friends. Cool. 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 Awesome. On here for about an hour and a half, everybody. Looking good. Looking good. Filling in nice. on this bottom row. Almost there. Filling in pretty good, everybody. Filling in pretty good. Couple more, and then we'll test this round. Looking good, friends. Awesome. Coolio. Look at that. Starting to fill in, everybody. Starting to fill in. Let's get that daughter board connected. Let's do some testing. All right. Let's get it going. Let's reset it. There we go. So far, so good. Good times for all. Cool. So that left alt is being weird. I did solder it in. Okay, cool. We got a faulty switch, so let's just swap that one out. The good one. So let's get the desolder gun out, everybody. My workhorse over here. So let me get that puppy plugged in. There we go. And there we go, everybody. Let's get this one going. All right, so we'll warm this puppy up, and then we'll desolder these buns right here. All right. Get it warmed up, everybody. It's just this one. All right, should be good. let's spudge that one out. Darn. There we go. Got that one out. Let's get a fresh switch in there. And we'll test her again. Awesome. Let's get that one put in there. Huh. Where'd everybody go? Cool. All right, let's try this again. Let's put the little daughter board on. Let's try this again. Yeah, I think it lagged out. I don't know why my computer hates me. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, the VOD, yeah. Computer hates me today, everybody. I'm sorry. Wi-Fi hates me. Internet hates me. It's okay. We're back. Sorry about that, friends. All right, let me just go to VIA really quick. Yeah. All right. Left alt. Let's reset this really quick. I just want to test these all again. Cool. All right. So far, so good. All right. Let's take off my little daughter board. Let's put our FRO in, and then we'll test our FRO, and then we'll be good to do our main number and alpha cluster. So let's put this puppy away. We're done with this for right now. I do play games, not as much as I used to, because the keyboard stuff's been keeping me kind of busy. I don't play. I do play games. I just haven't had enough time, man. It sucks. Because I would definitely love to play more, because I genuinely enjoy it. I'm hyped for Borderlands 4. I do want to pick that up because I'm so excited for Borderlands 4. So I'm one of the few people who didn't hate Borderlands 3. So I actually genuinely enjoyed it. So I've been excited to see how they follow up and make the adjustments that people, I guess, take to heart the criticism people did have for Borderlands 3 and see what they do with it. So I'm really excited for that game, but I haven't had time, man. Oh, dude, I'm so freaking busy now, dude, with the keyboard stuff, and just like between like keyboard stuff, family stuff, and work, it's just like I really don't have much time, and it sucks because, like I said, like, video games are like one of my favorite pastimes. Just trying to. Cool. All right. Got our FRO. It's starting to look like a keyboard again. Everybody, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I know the performance is bad, so I usually wait. I usually don't do games at launch because just learned that in today's gaming industry, don't buy games at launch because they release broken games. So yeah, I've seen some memes that's a pretty brutal. I mean, I have a 4080 and like a 1400K, so like I should be okay. I'm not playing at 4K. I'm doing 1420, like 3440 by 1440. I'm also not wanting like max freaking settings, so like I'm not going too crazy on it. So. All right, let's get this FRO installed. Let's get my vent going. So it shouldn't be too bad, but yeah, let's get it going. Cool. Almost there. All right, let's get it going. We're getting there. Yeah, I don't think I'll have any issues running Borderlands 4. Like I said, I'm probably going to pick it up probably in the next month or so. Like, I don't want to pick it up right at launch. I want to wait for, like, any, like, day one patches or anything like that. Just to make sure they hammer out any detail, any, like, issues, and then we're going to get it going. So, yeah, no, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for Borderlands 4. Because, again, I genuinely love... That's probably one of my all-time favorite video game series. Like, I love the Borderlands series. Even with, like... I got the mediocrity that was Borderlands 3. Like, I loved it. Gameplay wise, it was fantastic. It's just I know people really were bummed about the story, which I get it. It didn't have the most engaging story, but I mean, also, it's Borderlands. I don't expect much. So, but I'm really excited for it. Just making sure these are good. Looking good. Almost done with the F-row. Alright, F-row is done. Yeah, so we should be fine. Look at that. Alright, so we got pretty much our entire perimeter done. So let's put our little daughter board on. And then let's test it. Come on, there you go. Cool. And there we go. Let's get that plugged in. Here we go. Alright, let's do our F-row. Cool, F-row's good. Cool. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert the rest of the switches in the number and alpha cluster. And then we're going to solder them in. If there's any problematic switches, we'll just desolder those. But we're having a very good success rate with these white Alps. So pretty good, if I do say so myself. So let's put that one there. It's always, there we go. So let's put the rest of our numbers, our alphas, and then we'll solder these puppies in. But it's starting to look like a keyboard now. And it has white Alps. I'm one of the few crazy people in the world who's made their Tomo Alps. So I'm pretty sure most people who have this board do not do this. So do as I say, not as I do. Ah, crap. Get it? Yeah. All right, let's keep it going. Yeah, so this is going good, everybody. So we are almost there. Nice, fun stream tonight. Let's get this one in. All right. So number rows almost in there. Looking good, everybody. All right, 4 more, and then we should be good. All right. There we go. Look at that, friends. So we just got to solder that main alpha and number cluster in. But yeah, those are... Oh, sounds so good. Clicky Alps are like the freaking best. Love them. Let's make sure all my pins are good, and then we should be fine. Yeah, we happy. All right, let's get this vent going. Yeah, super clean. All right, let's get this one going. Let's go up here, start in this corner. Cool. Looking good on those pins. Just kind of move it on over. All right. Looking good. Cool. All right, number row is done. Just want to move on to our first alpha row. All right, got 2 more rows of the alphas, and then we're done. At least before we start, I have to start testing. Almost there, friends. All right, last row of the alphas for everybody. All right, so let's wrap that up. Strap the solder wick over here. Awesome. Cool. All right, so those are all soldered in, everybody. Cool. All right, let's get our little daughter board on here, and then we're gonna test all these switches. So hopefully everything works, but had a good success rate with these switches so far. So Ah, 7 doesn't work. All right, let me just write that down for 7. So we have 1 that doesn't work. I just write them down because it just makes my life easier. Okay, let's see our next row. Letter I. W. That row's good. All right, so we're looking good, folks. We only have like 4 switches. One of these Yeah, U doesn't have a click leaf. That's weird. Give me a second. Yeah, there's no click leaf in this one. That's not good. Give me a second. You put a click leaf in that. Give me a second. Let me find a clicky. Let me pull a clicky click leaf out of here. That's not good. We need these. We need these to click. All right. All right. Let's put a. I knew that didn't sound right. All right. Give me a second. We're gonna put a click leaf in this one, and we'll desolder these switches. All right. So let's get my slider. Let's get the click leaf, and then that, and then we should have a good. Oh, there we go. There we go. Awesome. All right, let's put that to the side. Let's fix these. Let's replace these faulty switches. You put this spare parts one away. No click leaf on this one. That's fine. It's a linear white Alps. All right. There we go. Let's deal with that later. Cool. All right, let's figure out what we got to desolder. So top row we have number 7. 7. Okay. 7. Let's get the desolder gun out, and then we'll start soldering these. We only have 4 switches to desolder. That's pretty good in my book. So, all right. Let's let this puppy heat up. We'll do 7 first. All right, so wait until that red light turns off, and then we're good. Come on, heat up. Come on. There we go. Let's pull that one out. Come on. There we go. Let's pull all the parts out. Click leaf. All right, shake that loose. Let's pull this out. There we go. Bad switch plate. Let's pull out that bottom part. All right, there we go. All right, just put this one back together just to make life keep parts together. All right. Let's put another switch in there. And let's solder that in. All right, where is it? Go. There we go. Cool. All right, let's put that little daughter board on. I want to test that number 7, and then we'll move on to our next row. Seven is good. All right. I, W, and I is in our next row. Cool. W and I. So let's do W. Got a little clog right here. We're going to grab that really quick. All right, give me a second. We have a clog good to deal with. So let's take care of that first. There we go. Got the clog out of there. Perfect. Let's get this one going. Cool. And then I right here 4/4. Cool. Let's pull those out. And we'll get a couple fresh switches. Cool. Faulty switch plate right there. Cool. Getting really good at this. So that way. All right, next one is this one. Come on. Dude, what's up with this one? It's crazy. There we go. Okay. Almost there, friends. Cool. Let's pull that out. Cool. Faulty switch plate. Get rid of that. Perfect. Just put this one back together just so we can have it in the graveyard of switches. All right, let's grab 2 replacements. Let's put those in. There we go. Awesome. Let's see what we got. All right. Let's solder those in, and then we'll see if they work. Hello, friends. Cool, that one's good. Perfect. Cool. All right. Let's do this again. If these are good, then we'll have one more switch we got to replace, and then we'll have a working Tomo. Okay. I is good. U. All right, we're good. Got one more. We have our less than right here. pull that one out. Perfect. Perfect. Got that switch plate. Faulty switch plate. That's pretty good. We had 5 faulty switches on this board. That's pretty good. It's not like the ridiculous failure rate of Green Alps. So cool. Let's put in one more new switch and then we'll be good to go. Well, we gotta solder it in and test it, and then we should be fine. All right. Cool. All right, let's put that daughter board in. I think we'll be good with this one. Ah, damn. Need to put another one in. All right. All right. Switch is no go. It's okay. All right. So second one in. It's all good. That's why we do this, folks. That's why Alps are a process and they are not quick builds. These things take time. Damn. Okay. That's why we do this. Cool. All right, take 2, everybody. It's our last switch. We gotta get going. All right, let's try this again. All right. Huh. That's really weird. Why is that not working? Okay. That's weird. All right, I'm going to pull this switch out. All right. Not okay. Okay. Try it one more time. Give me a second. I got a claw I gotta take care of really quick. There we go. Very high maintenance tool, but it's worth it. Okay, I want to see what's up with this. Cool. All right. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Put that one to the side. I want to try one more. Then I'm going to see what the heck's up with this one, because this might just be the socket that's not good, but it doesn't seem to be that way. All right, do one more. And then this is a third for third faulty switch. We might have a socket problem. Let me X out of via. Let me open up a new window. All right, let's see. Okay, everything works. Okay, we may have a faulty, we may have a dead, fuck. Kind of need period. Okay. We may have a dead socket, which would not be good. So I'm going to try something I know that works. So we're going to put in an orange Alp. These are switches I know work. So we're going to desolder it and then do some troubleshooting. We may have a dead switch here. So let's see. Okay. Cool. Put that there. We're going to solder in this orange Alp. I know this switch works. So there's no way I'm having this many faulty white Alps. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, we have a dead socket. Frack. Alright, we have a dead socket, friends. That's not good. So I know that switch works. Okay. Well, that sucks. We have a dead socket. So my period socket is busted. I mean, I do have a second PCB for this board, so that's not the end of the world. But that is a bummer. So we're just going to desolder that orange and put it back where it was. We'll just put a white in there. That is a bummer. Well, that is a project for another day. Swapping this to a proper working PCB. Well, it's okay. Hey, we're getting the board mostly built. Kind of bummed about that. That is disappointing. But hey, it's okay. Okay, I'm just going to put one of these in here. Yeah, we're just going to put a switch in there just to, for looks, and we'll figure it out, but fine. Cool. All right, that's kind of disappointing, but tragic, but it's okay. Okay, put the solder gun away. There we go, friends. But all right, so we're done soldering. I'm kind of bummed. My period button less than is that socket's busted. That kind of sucks, but hey, we have the entire assembly pretty much good to go. So I will probably. I have no idea why there's that dead socket. I do have a spare PCB for this, and Tomo PCBs are not hard to find, so like it's fine. I'll just swap I'll swap PCBs at a later date. I just want to get this thing built, so. All right, friends. Let's move all this crap out of the side. Let's put this in the case, and then we'll get this thing mounted. So let me put let's put this to the side. Let's get my bits out. So yeah, it's okay. We got a dead switch. I mean, a dead socket. It's fine. I mean, I could also just like, Another solution we could do too is like run a wire to another switch, which would be fine. So there are solutions. Like we'll figure it out. That is not a project I feel like dealing with tonight because I actually do want to go to sleep after stream. So I want to get this thing built. I want to get the photography done in this stupid thing, and then we'll get it. And then I'll post it probably tomorrow morning. So and I have to get the YouTube VOD plugged in. So I want to finish this up so I can go to sleep. So it's all good. I mean, that's why you have spare PCBs, everybody. Cool. Alright, there's that one. Plug in our daughter board. Cool. Okay, we got our daughter board plugged in. We're going to put our assembly into our case. We're going top mount on this puppy. So let me just dump out all my screws. Let's get our top mount going. We need our bigger bit for that one. So, there we go, friends. All right. Yeah, don't worry. We'll get this thing fixed properly. I'm just not in a rush to get this board to like swap PCBs. So I will be fine with this board, and I can just reprogram the period until I have time, because I have a ton of builds coming up, and I don't have time to like. This was the only time I really had to look at this build for right now, at least. So. Okay, let's get the rest of the top mount in. All right. Yeah, but everybody, this is why you get spare PCBs for your boards. So, let this be a lesson. Always get spare PCBs. And that's why I have a spare PCB on hand. Okay, I need to line this up, so I need to get some keycaps out. Alright. Turn the soldering iron off. We're done with that. Alright. There we go. I got a figure. Alright, where's some keycaps we're going to put on? We'll do like... Put on some... I just want to get some perimeter keycaps on here because I need to do some alignment. So... Ah, that's going to sound so good, though. All right, let's figure it. All right, tab, where's my step caps lock? Oh, I gotta pull that alt. That's the wrong alt. Yeah. I mean, this one I got new, so who knows? Maybe when I was desoldering, I probably fried something. It's okay. It's not the first time I've done that to a PCB. It's okay. So, hey, that's why I have spare PCBs on hand. It's not the end of the world. I'm chilling. So, I'm not too worried about it. Not too worried about it at all. So, I'll swap the PCB at a later date. So, it's all good, everybody. All good. Alright, just finding some other perimeter ones. Where's my step caps lock? There it is. It's the wrong caps lock. I want the stepped one. Control, there it is. Alright, let's get my arrows here really quick. Let's get my F row in here. Got some arrows here. Yeah, we're going very beige on this board today. But 9009 goes to literally anything, so that's the good thing. Cool. So making sure profiles line up. Yeah, I just want to do these perimeter ones. All right. Cool. Almost there, everybody. Nope. Nope. All right. F8. F1. Almost there. I just need a couple more for the perimeter, and then we'll be good. Arrow key. Okay, let's make sure that page down lines up profile-wise. Yeah, we're good there. Need a page up. Perfect. All right. Now, let's line all this crap up. Yeah, almost there, friends. Just lining everything up. Yep, not lined up the way I want. It's all good. We just gotta line everything up. Cool. Almost there, friends. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, let's connect the top and the bottom cases here. And we'll get this board ready, pretty much done. All right, just gotta put these final bottom ones on. Then we'll do one last test of everything, minus that one switch set is dead, sadly, but hey, it's all good. All right, just screwing in the last of it, everybody. Just put these to the side, put the screw kit, and then we can put the rest of the keycaps on and really kind of see this thing come to life. So let's take the work mat away. There we go, friends. So that's our TGR Tomo with our keycaps. Let's add the rest of them on. So let's get these keycaps on here, everybody, and let's get ready to get on out of here. So we're just adding the rest of these on. Awesome. Looking good. Coming along. All right. Oops, I put my G in the wrong spot. No bueno. Cool. It's fine. Coming along. Three. Oops, wrong one. All right, friends. Let me just put these keycaps away. Oh yeah, it looks sick. It's a sick board. Oh yeah, be careful. But yeah, I'll definitely swap this over to the new PCB that's unused at a later date. But for now, the main point, the board is built, and I know what the switches I have in it work, so we're good. Let's put these keycaps away. All right, friends, look at that. So that is really, really cool. Really clean, everybody. Look at that. We got a TGR Tomo. That is Alps. So I want to just plug it in, just test the switches are good, because I will have to swap these into a new PCB at a later day. I won't do that on stream because I'm lazy. We've already done this board once on stream. I don't need to do it again. All right, let's see. All right. Yeah, that switch is no bueno. But everything else works. Sweet. Yeah. But yeah, putting this board into a proper piece, proper one will be fine. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it works. So let me just close the video really quick. But yeah. Oh, it's such a cute little board. I love it. So, I mean, you have the little TGR badge up here. And then on the back, what's really nice is, again, you have TGR branding up here. You got the Tomo and then you have Monokei, because this was a collaboration between Monokei and TGR. So, really, really awesome board. So, these white clicky Alps. So, Welvin, these are the ones that I did put in your build. So, let me move my microphone down. And let's do a little sound test. So there we go. Let's put my microphone back where she belongs. Wait a second. There we go. It's always kind of finicky. So yeah, there we go, friends. I'm gonna move my mic. There we go. Cool. Don't want to go in that. There we go. Cool. So there we go, everybody. That is the TGR Tomo, everybody. So like I said, I do the socket on my period button is messed up, so I'll at a later date when I have time, I'll desolder this whole thing and then resolder it into the brand new extra Tomo PCB that I have. But yeah, it's a good time, everybody. So but those of you who tuned in throughout the stream, thank you so much. It's always a fun time. But again, this Wednesday, September 17th, please spread the word, folks. We're doing a first sponsored stream on here for the group buy for the ETAR 87, which is an F-rolless full-size board that supports Cherry MX, Alps, and Topre. So, yeah, again, folks, definitely spread the word out. Again, Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Saturn Time. So have a great evening, everybody. The VOD will be on YouTube later this evening.